Hi, welcome back to Yarn Lane. I'm here. I'm Wendy Gardiner and I'm living the dream. I am amongst my knitty critters. Aren't they cute? Now I'm joined here by Claire, who is a crafting consultant extraordinaire, and she's going to show us some of the techniques used to make these knitty critters. We've got, so I think, have we had them on before? So we've had one twice before, but we've got three new animals to share with you. So they were on the 2nd of December and the 1st of January, and they were so popular. But new today, new for us today, is the llama. Look at this little llama. Isn't he cute? And the hippo and the koala. So they're the new ones today. These kits have everything you need in them to create the product that you've got here. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to open up one of the kits to show you if I can get it out of all of this here. Let me show you the llama first. I'm just going to pop this one to one side. Sorry, jellyfish. Oh, my llama's falling over. So this, I don't know if you can show it because I don't know what you can see. So this is the llama. And look, he's got a little hat with ear holes. Isn't that cute? He is a floppy llama. But you could put something in there to stiffen him if you want to. So that's the llama. So what I want to try and do is show you what's in the box. So this is a brand new one today. So you get a lovely box. And you get everything you need in it. I'll see if I can find out how to open it. I think I'm going to have to move you, Larry Llama. Right, so you're going to come above, so that's great. You can see above. So look, in the box here, you've got your crochet hook. What size hook is that?
It comes with 2 crochet hooks. You get a size 8 and a size 4, I believe. So you need a smaller one to do some of the eyes and some of the features, and the bigger one.
And it tells you which one to use in the instructions. So you've got your full instructions there. I've got the wadding to stuff him. I've got all this, look at this yarn, all this beautiful yarn. So there's all this yarn, so everything you need. So you crochet it. Now, you do need to be able to crochet.
You do, but don't be put off by that. So the one you've opened there, it's still quite basic, isn't it? That one's Loopy Llama that you've opened there. She's a little bit different. I wouldn't try her as your first attempt.
Right.
She's one, when you're feeling a little bit more, you want a bit more of a challenge. You've done a bit of crochet, you've had a go, maybe done some of the other ones that we've shown on previous shows, then maybe go to Loopy Llama. She's brilliant and we love her, but she has got a little bit more detail to her.
Yes, because looking at her, she's got this sort of like little
she does.
ridges, hasn't she?
Yes, so you make the animal and then you have to go on top and you have to put all those lovely loops on it as well, which is why the yarn in her box actually is a little bit different to the yarn in the other boxes.
Oh, right, well, I'll open in one of the other boxes because look. Oh, look. Sorry, I've got her head down. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hello. I like her hat. Look at that. Isn't she lovely? And yeah, so she's kind of got sort of ridges on you, and you say you put those on after you've crocheted
on Loopy,
on this particular one. So this is for somebody who maybe is intermediate.
Yeah, and you fancy a bit of a challenge. Don't be put off again.
Yeah, not to be put off.
No,
it's
definitely
just
not. But a bit
something
more of a
is a little bit more of a challenge. Although I like to challenge myself, so there's nothing stopping me starting with this one, just because you can go on YouTube and learn some of the techniques. But listen, is it gorgeous? And you get everything. So you get everything you need, even all the little bit of black for the eyes, mouth and nose to give it character. So I'm going to look at another. Let me just close this one up. I don't know if I can get it back in the box, but obviously I'm not going to open all of the boxes. I just wanted you to have an idea of what you get in each one. I'm just going to drop that one down, and I can pick that up later. So I'll look at Hippo. Hippo, look, this is the other new one. So this is one of the 3 new ones. Don't forget, all these others are all still available. And again, it's beautifully packaged. Look at this. So again, you've got the instructions. It's Pippopotamus with your hook. little bit of black for the eyes, and then look at that brown. Look at this yarn here. Lovely big chunky yarn, and that's to make this. Oh. It is, it's really soft. So you've got the wadding to stuff in. So this is one, you know, as long as you know how to do a double crochet, I'm guessing, you can really go with this.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a double crochet today, so we'll remind everyone what that is.
Yeah, so that's brilliant. So you don't even know how to be able to crochet because Claire's going to show you how to do it. So. I think that's really cute because I have one of these at home. So I know they're really gorgeous. So that's what you get. So you get the complete kit, and every one of these is the same. You get everything you're going to need to create your little animal, and it's gorgeous quality as well. It just means, yeah, you don't get it in the post and then think, oh, now I need to go and get the right size crochet hook or whatever. It comes with what you need, so you can make it. And then we have the brand new koala bear. Oh, I was going to say I can't get that in the. Oh no, I'm not doing too badly. Let me get the koala. Oh, look at this one. So, okay, so this one that's the finished koala. I'm not going to open the box this time. Look at that. Isn't he gorgeous? Finished koala. So again, everything you need in there to create him. Look at his little face. He's all sort of squishy and squashy and very cuddly. Very cuddly. It's good. G'day. I think I can say that really. G'day. So as well as these three new ones, we of course have got popular favourites which we've had before. So we're going to do unicorn first because I'm just going to put these in the right places so I'll make sure I put the right ones back. We've only got 4 unicorns left. So if your little one loves a unicorn, look at this. Is it Sophia? Oh, Sophia. I love the way they've got names. Sophia unicorn, look. Look at this. Look at his spiral tail. Or hers, I should say. I should think it's a her, isn't it? Sophia. Isn't that cute? And eyelashes on the eyes. So this one is very, very limited stock. We're only down to 3 now. So if you have, I'm going to be sexist here and say a daughter, probably daughter or granddaughter. Unless, you know, your son wants it as well, but this is so perfect. So many little girls love unicorns, don't they? They really do. So this is so cute. And they'd be quite quick to do, wouldn't it?
Because it's chunky yarns. You saw the yarn there, it's burnout blanket yarn, and you get a 300-gram ball, which is enough that you need. And it's so chunky, and it creates it so quickly. This is why it's such a rewarding project. So this weekend, it's the end of January, it's all a bit miserable. It's starting to snow as I came in.
Oh no.
And you just want to hunker down. This is perfect to take the box. You've got a whole project in a box, and because it's chunky yarn, it does build quite quickly. So it's a fabulous project.
I know, I'm going to have to do mine. I've got one at home, I've got to do it. I have to bite that bullet. So unicorn's about to sell out. So if you are interested, please do grab it whilst you can. Okay, I'm going to move that one out of the way. I'm going to keep her with me though. All right, so Jeffrey Giraffe here. Do we have a finished giraffe? We haven't got one to show, but if you look at the picture on the front here, you can see it. So this is Jeffrey Giraffe. He's also about to sell out. And again, so how do you keep his neck up on that? Is there any tips on that?
So they are designed to be squishy and squashy, and you said that yourself on Kev Koala. One of the things is not to overstuff these actually and keep them soft and cuddly. If you wanted a little bit more stiffness in the ones with the longer necks and limbs, you might want to put a little bit more stuffing in.
Yeah.
If you wanted it to be a display one rather than give it to a child to cuddle, you might want to put something, so you know the wadding that goes around pipes or keeps your cables nice and tidy, the really soft stuff. You might want to put that inside.
It's just right in the centre, but not if it's a toy.
If it's a toy, I'd suggest you just keep it really soft and floppy and really cuddly. But if you're an older person, you like to display it, if you've got flamingos, for example, all around the house and you want it on display, then you might want to put something in the neck to make it a bit sturdier. So giraffe, we've only got 2 left.
So this one, I think you've done that, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what we've done in that one, because it's a display one that you're going to have on the show, so we have put something in the neck for that one.
So that's got that sort of pipe cladding basically in the neck there, just to hold that neck up, because it's a display one. So it's not the flamingo. Let me open the flamingo box. Hold on. Let me put Jellyfish to one side. Oh, Teddy is a dream too. I'm going to put Teddy there. The flamingo is gorgeous. Well, they all are, to be honest. Trying to say which one is a favourite is very difficult. Look at the colours in here. My goodness. And you've got a few more techniques and things. And you've got the instructions, you've got the hooks. And look at this, look at the colour of that pink yarn. Isn't it beautiful? And it is, as you say, it's that big chunky yarn, isn't it? Really soft. So it should grow very quickly. And then the black, so you can do the beak and the eyes with the eyelashes, of course. So it's all there with your hooks. So it's a fabulous kit, beautifully packaged. So when you get this at home, everything you need is there. You can get cracking straight away. You know, I think, I mean, the one I've got is I've got it to make a gift for one of my best friend's first grandchild. But you could actually give this as a gift in itself to somebody who crochets.
You could, and if you could always use the box again when you're delivering that gift. So when it's finished.
Yes.
I'm not sure Flo would fit back in the box.
Well, not if you've stuffed her neck with something.
Maybe the koala or the hippo. You know,
stuff
they
them
might
back in a box.
go back in the box if they need to be posted again. So keep the box.
Yes, indeed.
And you might be able to pass
you
it on
probably could put
and
them
even
back
wrap
in.
the box up.
Look, yeah, they're all getting terribly cosy. No social distancing amongst my little animals here. So this is the bear. Look at this. He's a classic with a difference. Look, he's a classic with a twist. So he's not a furry bear. He's a crocheted bear, but he's very soft and very cuddly. He really is. He's squishy. You can just like this. He has. He really is lovely. He's got the ears. Lovely face. All done with crochet and all the shaping round here. Oh yes, Hannah's just suggested you could make this and send him as a hug. Send a hug. Oh, any of these are good for that, aren't they? Any of them. Oh. He's very huggy. Yeah, I do. I need these. But I mean, they're all beautiful. So this is Ted. What's he called? What's his name? Toggle Ted. So he's Toggle Ted. Look at his little paws. You could make a little coat and a hat for him if you want. And we've got Ellie the elephant. What's the elephant's name? Ollie. Ollie the elephant. Well, funnily enough, I've got a nephew called Oliver. And you're right, he's the cutest chap. Look at that.
So
and his head's heavy, isn't that lovely? I just love that.
So Mandy's designed this one. Mandy Cameron is the designer. All designed in the UK, all packaged in the UK. But she's designed this one that you can either sit him up on his bottom like he is on your box, or if you wanted to, you could put him on his feet like I've got at the front here. I've got him standing on his feet. Whereas you've maybe got him sat up. So the head, you can flick either way there. Yeah. You can either sit him up on his bottom, or we can.
Look at he's sitting on his feet now, but he's.
If you sit at
and then you can there
you go.
Sit him like that. It's so cute, but again, it's just so tactile. You just want to cuddle and squeeze them. Really beautiful. So message, the kits are wonderful and the wool is so soft. The box is great to give the gift in, just as you've just said.
Yep.
Thank you for reiterating that, Kay. Oh, unicorn's gone, I'm afraid. Unicorn's gone. And of the new ones...
Do you know, I think that could be people who've watched this show before, done a couple now, and are up for the new challenge.
Yes, this is a little bit more challenging, but for anybody that crochets, it's going to be fine. So this is very. Look at it. Is it a she? What's her name?
That's Loopy.
Loopy Llama. I just love the hat with the ears coming out. Look. Oh, where's Monkey?
Chimp. Charlie
Oh,
Chimp.
yes. Yes, I think this is the one I've got at home to start. This, yeah, this is for. I've got to make it now because I've said it on TV. He's for my friend's first grandchild. I bought him before the boy was born. No, not yet. So that's why it's not been made. But I'm going to be watching. I'm going to watch the demonstration, and I will learn, and then I will do it. Can they go in the washing machine, Claire?
So this is washable. With any animal and toy, you want to be careful. I suggest putting it in a pillowcase.
Yeah.
And maybe washing it on a cool wash, just really gently. And I wouldn't. It's only if they get really grubby. But the yarn is washable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the yarn's washable, the wadding's washable, but you don't want it clumping together, and you don't want the yarn matting. So cool wash.
Cool
in
wash
in
in a pillowcase. But that's my recommendation.
Yeah.
What I would do with them. But it has all been tested.
And of course, the other, to get rid of dust, you can put them in the freezer, can't you?
So I never knew about that.
Yeah.
Can you?
Put them in the freezer and then you get
idea.
rid of dust.
The chimp that you've got hold of there, he's another one that's not challenging, but got a few more things you've got to think about. So the one that we started off with, and back in December, we were saying we were on the 2nd of December, and we did squish the jellyfish. And we said, squish the jellyfish is brilliant for a beginner. Charlie Chimp, because you have to attach his muzzle and you attach his eyes and you attach his ears, there's a little bit more to think about, and you create his features by embroidering his nostrils and his mouth. And so you can really change the way he looks depending on where you put the ears, if they're high up or low down, and where you put the eyes. And the muzzle almost half covers the eyes as well. So because of the differences in being able to create those facial features, that offers a little bit more. If you're going to work your way through sort of the stages, I suppose, I'd squish the jellyfish is great to start with, and Flamingo, and then maybe Charlie Chimp, and then we've got Loopy Llama. So this is really starting to
it's just
broaden
really
out.
great. So if you're really good at crochet, these would be a breeze for you. But also there's some challenges in them though.
Absolutely, definitely. And Charlie Chimp
start.
again is you've got some colour changing going on there as well.
Yes.
We talked about that in the last show. Whereas in something like Squish the Jellyfish, it's a graduated yarn, so it changes colour as you're going. So you don't need to worry about colour changing in something like Squish the Jellyfish. So this Squish the Jellyfish, can I show you mine?
Oh, please do.
Because this is, if anybody on the Yarn Lane TV fans was watching in the week, this was Squish the Jellyfish that my son Jonah, who's 8, made. And we put a video on the Yarn Lane's Facebook page of him making this, because I promised him if he got it finished, I'd bring it today. So my son Jonah is hopefully watching.
Oh, hopefully,
and this
Jonah.
is his finish, Squish the Jellyfish. We've got a little bit of yarn there we need to just tie in. But this was made by Jonah, who's 8, and I promise you, although I give him the tuition, he made it all himself. So this is Jonah's Squish the Jellyfish.
I think that's amazing. I am so impressed, and that really has put me to shame that I haven't started mine yet, so I will do.
So hopefully that's going to encourage everybody to have a go.
So that's how easy they are then.
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean,
and
not
asked him,
decrying his ability, please, but the fact if an 8-year-old child can pick it up and do it.
With an 8-year-old, it's more about the concentration, the focus,
Yes.
and sticking with it. And I think this is why Squish is such a good one, because you have to make 8 tentacles. And to make one tentacle is all you can probably focus on at a time when you're 8. And then you put it aside and then you make 7 more. But every time you make a tentacle, you practice in that stitch. So he practiced his rows and his doubles 8 times just in doing the tentacles. And then the base and the hood is a circle that just keeps getting bigger. And I asked him, I said to Jonah, what would your top tip be for people who are learning to crochet? And he said, don't be afraid to pull it out. So he said, sometimes you don't want to, because you've created something, but that was from an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid if you make a mistake.
If you make a mistake, pull it out.
Feel free to pull it out, because it's really forgiving.
Yeah.
So there you go, Jonah.
So
your jellyfish.
I think, Jonah, well done. That really is amazing. So we are going to actually go over. That's all of the kits. Some of them are limited, very limited availability. Unicorn's gone completely. So we're going to go over and watch these demos, so that for those of you like me who aren't particularly good at crochet, I will be, I promise, then we're going to get how-tos right now. And which one are you working on? Hippo?
Okay, so the ones I've got in front of me here, I've got hippopotamus's feet. I'm just going to move them down so we can see them on the overhead camera. So the feet, with this burlap yarn, you can see it's really chunky. And it's so chunky, when you're counting, you can even count the rows. So we start with the centerpiece here. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, 7 rounds. So we make 4 little feet like these, and they're like little cups. So if you're a beginner, you make 1 foot and it feels, I've made an achievement. Then we do 4 more. So with 3, you do finish them off, you cast it off, but you leave quite a long bit of yarn on 3 of them. And then on your 4th, don't cast it off, keep it on the hook, because we start to attach them together. And I have to attach 2. I'm going to demonstrate now how to attach these feet together. So where you can see the stitch marker here, this is where I finish the 4th foot. And from that one, I went with 8 double crochets here. And then I joined a 2nd foot, and I'm going to show you how to join the next foot, because then we're going to join the 3rd foot right here next to this one here. So this one's going to join in.
So you just join them in a row?
Yeah, we join them in a row. So I have the 2nd foot here. I'm going to pick up my 3rd foot, and I can see where I finished the last row there. I'm going to go into the next stitch here. So the start of what would be the 8th row. I put my hook through. I'm going to demonstrate this is a double crochet, and I'll do this a bit slower. Make sure I'm picking up the yarn that's attached to the wool and not one of the strands from the legs. Round the hook and pull it through. Round the hook and pull it through. So I've attached that leg. Now I'm going to do 10 in total, so I'll do 9 more, and I'll talk you through a bit slower what a double is, and then we'll attach the 4th foot. So these are written in UK terminology, which is different. I'll just talk a little while you're watching. It is different to American terminology. These are absolutely UK terminology. If you attempt to do an American double, it's what we in the UK call a treble, and you will run out of yarn. Yeah. So make sure you know the difference. So a UK double, we start off with our hook, and we have the loop on there, and we go to our stitch that we're going to put the next one into, and you can feel it. This yarn is so chunky, you can almost feel the space that's created. You can see my finger coming through. That's where we're going to go. We're going to pass the hook through the stitch so it pops out the back. So what we're going to do, what we intend to do, is pull the yarn through there. Some people wrap it round, literally wrap it round. Other people use this hook shape of the crochet hook to just catch hold of the yarn and pull it. And that's what that hook shape is designed to do. So you can draw it through. And I draw it through, I've got 1, 2 on my hook now. And I need to get back to just having 1. So I can wrap the yarn round, and I can pull that through both of those, so I get back to 1 on the hook there. So this would be what an American would call a single, and you can see why, because it is quite a simple 1-step process. Through the hole, draw the yarn through, 1, 2 on the hook, wrap the yarn round and draw it through. And that is what we call a double crochet. It's that simple.
See, it makes sense to me because you've done it twice.
Yeah, and as if I show you again, if we pull it through, when you get to this halfway point, you have 2 on the hook, and that's how I know it's a double. So if I'm ever teaching and somebody has more than 2 on a hook, I know there's something going wrong there. So a double, there should be 2. Trebles, there's 3. So we wrap that round and we pull it through. Now if the camera can zoom in, you'll see the stitches I've just been creating create this beautiful V shape. And the chunky yarn is really good for showing those off. And that is how we count our stitches. So we count the V's. So we don't count the one that's on the hook. So we don't count this one. We go to the next one down, and we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I've done. I need another 5 before I can attach the next leg. So 1, 2,
this is going to show my ignorance now. So on crochet, is there a difference in tension, like on knitting?
yes, there is. So I do crochet quite tight. I know I do. So these kits come with a size 8 hook, and they're based around a size 8 hook. And just like knitting, when you get your yarn, it will recommend a hook size like it does with knitting needles. So it'll say on the yarn, and this yarn is recommended with a size 8mm hook. I know that I'm really tight, and I do quite tight stitches, so I actually use a size 9 hook because I know my tension's quite tight. If it's quite loose, you might want to go down a hook size. So now I've attached 3. We have 1, 2, 3, and I can go to the last foot, and I can start the first one after where we cast off. Again, make sure I'm using the yarn that's attached to the ball and not one of these legs threads. So we're going to do another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So people ask me, is there a way to hold your yarn? You just get comfortable really, and you hold it with what works for you. I usually hold the project I'm working on in my hands, and the yarn just feeds through my fingers. And I don't really consciously think about what I'm doing with it. I'm using the hook shape here, and I use the hook shape to draw the yarn through, and it catches and draws it through. When you're first learning, you actively, consciously wrap the yarn round. And earlier the week, the video that we put on of Jonah making his squish, the jellyfish, you could see that's what he was doing. He was wrapping the yarn and pulling it through. And even what some people do is actively lift a stitch over the top with their fingers. And do you know, that's absolutely fine when you're a beginner. It's what works for you. As you start to crochet more, you maybe get a bit quicker, then you might start using the hook shape to draw the yarn through. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more.
We've got some messages as well. Let's have a look at this. Apparently there's a nice message for Jonah, so let's have a look at what it says.
Oh, I love that. He said he's watching at home today.
Oh, it is, Jonah, your son Jonah has done an amazing job. He should ask Mandy if he can become a demonstrator. That would be, can you imagine? Brilliant.
He'll be after my job.
Thank you, Linda, for that.
Thank you, Linda.
If Jonah's
That's
watching,
really
Jonah,
kind.
do you see that? That's a job in the making for you.
That's his second shout out this week, you know. He's doing homeschooling at the moment, and he did one of these draw along online YouTube ones as a class thing, and he typed in a comment while they're doing it live and got a shout out on that as well.
Did he?
Loving it. So what we've done here, we've put all 4 of the legs together in a row. Before, we're going to bring them round and we're going to attach them. So we can see 4 here, and we're going to bring it back round and attach the front. One thing to be careful of, just have a really good look that there's no twists, because it could be quite easy as you're crocheting for one of these to flip over. And if it flipped over and it put a twist into it, usually at the join, that could be awkward. So just before you join, have a good check that there's no twists. And then, like I say, this stitch marker was where I started. And if you remember, I only did 8 on this first leg, but I've done 10 on each of the others. So I know I still have another 2 to do. So from my stitch marker, count back 2, and that's where I'm going to do my double crochet. So I will go into here, there's 1, and there's 2. There's a second one. So I have gone all the way around, back to the beginning, and we've joined all 4 feet together. And as you can see there, like this, if I've got now, the reason I had Ollie Elephant on my desk was to show you from underneath. There you can see he's made, and Pippopotamus is made in the same way. These 4 cups are his legs, and they've all been joined together. And then you carry on crocheting all the way up the body. And the thing I really love about these kits, you can see it with Ollie Elephant, and you can see it with some of the other ones I'll show you in a minute. The limbs are, wherever possible, incorporated into the body. They're not sewn on afterwards. So it makes it really safe for children to be pulling around, because these have been crocheted in as you've gone along. Now, if we look back to Pippa's feet in front of me.
Oh, let's read this message about the elephant.
Okay.
Oh, I have to keep putting my glasses on to read this. So my husband learnt to crochet from watching Yarn Lane, and 4 weeks later made Ollie Elephant
Fabulous, we need a photo.
for her grown-up granddaughter. Have we got
brilliant.
a photo? That is so good.
Isn't it?
I love the way that he made it for her.
Yeah.
And how old is grown-up? How old is grown-up granddaughter? Because you're never too old for these.
Never, never, never.
Definitely never too old for these.
I've made Pippa here. These, remember these threads? I said leave them quite long. What Mandy asks you to do is do a few more rounds all the way round, and she does increase it. She starts to increase the body as well. It starts to get a bit fatter. But after she's got you to do a few more rounds, these threads will then sew along this cross here. So you use the threads to sew the inside the feet, and that makes sure that they're nice and secure. So if you flipped around. So I'm trying to guess where you're going with that camera. So you can see the legs are all nice and secure because we use the threads on the inside to sew them up. So there we go.
So you're saying Mandy. Mandy is the designer.
Mandy
of these,
Cameron,
isn't
she's
she?
the designer, yes. She has designed all of these amazing creatures. She is a British designer, and like I say, all packaged and produced in the UK.
That's so good to hear.
It's great, isn't it?
Isn't it lovely?
It is great. So,
oh, and have we got stitch markers on the website? Because I think I saw that yesterday. So they're quite. That's a very fancy one, isn't it? I like that. You've got stitch markers. So we've got all different ones. So they're on the website. You'll be able to see them. 50. So there's little round ones. 50 clips for £2.99.
fabulous.
I've got to tell you that the jellyfish Squish
the jellyfish.
Squish the Jellyfish is
Fabulous.
about to sell out. So if you're interested in this one, which we know even a child can make, then that's the one to go for. We've only got a few left though. Oh, in fact, we've got more in baskets than we have available. So if you want it, do check on out so you don't miss that. But I mean, they're all so cute. So if you do miss that one of these others will just happily look at this.
Can I show you something else as
Oh,
well?
please
So
do,
I've got
yes.
Ollie in front of me here, and we demonstrated this last time, and it's just worth doing it again. You may remember Ollie's ears. So Kev Koala is our new one for this time, one of our new ones. And if you can pick up Kev, you'll see his ears. They're very similar to Ollie's.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, look at his ears. Yeah.
So here
This is Koala. This is our new Koala.
That's Kev Koala. I've got the ears here. When you make these, they are made in the round. A lot of this is made in the round. So a standard increase, and then it starts to decrease. So it almost falls this bowl shape. And Mandy says in her pattern, fold the ear in half and attach. And I've had quite a few people say to me, I don't understand what you mean by fold it in half. And these look like Princess Leia, and they don't work. What she means is literally squash it flat and fold it in half this way and then push it around. And when you do that, you can see that ear shape. So if you can have a look there at Ollie Elephant, she means squash it flat and fold them in half. So we've got Kev Koala's ears here, and there you go. You can make the ears by folding them in half and attach them to the side. So Ollie Elephant's and Kev Koala's ears, very similar. There we go. So I wanted to just reiterate that one because Kev Koala's are very similar, and it caused me confusion. First time I was like, how does she mean fold in half? And when you do it, you
think it's obvious.
You think it's obvious.
Yeah,
of course that's what it is.
Okay,
how else could it be? So
also, like, you've got a little wiggly tail on that one.
this one, yes. So that's the same with Pippopotamus. You've got Pippopotamus. So we've attached her feet earlier. We've just done that demonstration of attaching the feet. And you go up a few more rounds. I think this is row 8. So this must be about row 12. And you basically go round the body, and when you get almost to the end, I think the stitch marker is usually about here. So just before the end, we come out in a row and we double crochet back along the row, and then we carry on round the body. So the tail is incorporated.
So that's good. So again, it can't be pulled off.
It won't come off. It's all incorporated. When you make the body, you make the tail as well.
Oh, we've got another message about the elephant. This is so. Oh, this is about the granddaughter. So grown-up granddaughter is 18. Did Ollie standing and stuffed firmly, putting rice bags in the feet and made a doorstop. But actually he sits on the bed.
That's a great idea, putting rice in the feet and making a doorstop.
Yes, it is a good idea, isn't it?
So these are not just for children, are they?
No,
but,
well,
you know.
I mean, you don't grow out of this, but I like the way that he's made it as a doorstop for her, but she's got it on the bed. She wants it on the bed. Isn't that lovely?
I've got another thing to demonstrate as well, if I
could.
Please
do.
If you don't mind,
yes.
I'm just
no.
The
more demos, the better.
This time.
Yes.
So last time I was on, somebody asked me about attaching different ways of finishing a round, and they said, is there that you can do a slip stitch into the last or the first one on the round, then chain one up and then carry around? And we said yes, of course you can do that. That's not how these are designed. So on the inside, I'm going to show you something here. This is the band for the yarn that we've used. It's burlap blanket yarn, and at the top here it says Yarnspiration, and in the inside this is almost like an added bonus when you get these kits. When you open it up, on the inside there is a pattern on the inside of that band for whatever picture is on the front, and it's an additional.
So it's nothing to do with this. It's just something completely
it's just an added bonus.
Yeah.
So one of the patterns I got from the Yarnspiration was for this beanie hat here, and I printed it off and I made the beanie hat, and this demonstrates what we were talking about really nicely, because
so does this help for when you're doing Charlie?
No, we don't use, so I'll get to that in a minute, but if I can show you what we do what's called a seamless round on the Knitty Critters. And this is what somebody was asking about last time, was attaching with a slip stitch and going up a chain. So if your camera can zoom in, this beanie hat does that, and I wanted to show you what it creates. And you can see this seam here. This is the seam that is created if that's the method you use. So it's quite subtle, and if you can do it neatly, it looks okay. However, when I made this beanie hat, it started off so well. I think I was watching the television, and if your camera zooms in now, you'll see what happened when I stopped concentrating, and my seam is all over the place and it's zigzagged, and that's one of the problems with this method. It looks nice, and there are other things you can do. There is what's called an invisible slip stitch, but I remade that hat in the method that Mandy uses in the Knitty Critters. And here you go. If you look at the hat now, there is no seam, there is no wiggly line, and it's much neater, I think it is anyway. So this hat I made. So what Mandy does is a seamless spiral, and that's why you need your stitch markers. So let me bring back this ear to demonstrate. So if, for example, if I put this stitch marker here, as though I was coming to the end of the round, so I've got 2 more to do, so we might as well just do that double crochet again.
So these stitch markers you're using are your own, they're not the ones we're selling?
These are mine. I have all sorts of random stitch markers. You can use anything. You don't need to buy stitch markers. You could use a paper clip. You could use a bit of yarn that's a different colour, a contrasting
Yes, I know
colour.
people have done that, but I like the stitch markers that we've got because they're coloured, and you could actually kind of use those colours to help you decide. Yeah,
and if you have a stitch marker attached to this as well, I can take the hook out, and the stitch marker will mean that it doesn't slip through and unravel.
Yes.
So that's why I like stitch markers, so I can put my work down sometimes. So I'm going to do 1 more double crochet here. So I put it through the stitch, the hook through the stitch. I draw the yarn through, so I have 2, 1, 2, wrap the yarn round, and I draw it through, so I'm back to the beginning again. So I would have come to the end. I've got to my stitch marker. Now this is where, if I was doing the seam one, I might put a slip stitch in here, slip stitch in, a slip stitch comes all the way through, and a single, and it goes up, and then carry on, because your single gives you a bit of height to go round. we don't do that in the Knitty Critters. We finish the round, we take this stitch marker off. Here we go. I should have used a bright stitch marker, I've got a blue one here, so a bright blue one. And we put that stitch marker onto the one that's on the hook. And that now becomes the first one in the next round, and we just carry on.
So each time you take it out and put it onto the next one.
You take it on. When you get to the one where it was, you move it onto the one that's on the hook and carry straight on. So there's no seam created. There's no chance of doing what I did on my beanie hat and making a squiggly line. It just continues into a beautiful spiral. And if you have a look here, we've got, for example, the back of Ollie's head. It's just this lovely, lovely spiral, and Squish the Jellyfish the same, a lovely, lovely spiral with no seam. There you go. So I thought after we had that conversation last time I was on, I would bring in
that's a really good idea.
my mistake to show you all.
Well, do you know, it's nice to share because people get worried about starting and trying things, thinking they're making a mistake. We all make mistakes.
Of course we do. That's how we learn.
Of course we
the
do.
only way you can learn is to make mistakes.
Now we've got a couple of more messages. Shall we have a look at those? Oh, Carol's asking a question. I have minimal crochet skills. Do you think someone like me could do TED?
Yes, of course you can. You can do any of them. So minimal means that's better than none.
Yeah.
If you had none, I might suggest Squish. But minimal means you know what a double crochet is. You're maybe just a little bit underconfident.
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely you can do TED.
And as your son says, if you go wrong,
just pull it out.
Pull it out.
Absolutely, just pull it out.
And I think
it'll
grow quite quickly as well because it's thick yarn, so you'll feel like you're achieving something.
You do, that's why these are so lovely. There was a lovely picture on Yarn Lane TV Fans this week from Heather Bridgen. She'd made Flamingo, and she said it was the first time she'd ever followed a crochet pattern. And honestly, if it goes to show what you can do if you just have a go, because that was amazing. Heather, it was such a beautiful Flamingo. So well done, Heather. There was also Derek Holder said he had a big shout out for Jonah and said that watching Jonah's video was better than anybody who'd been able to instruct him so far. So I'm hoping, Derek, that I've gone slow enough for you now and you've got something from those demonstrations. I really tried.
No, we just had another query that flashed up quickly and went away. Is the stuffing included in the kit?
It is?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The kit has got everything. I've got a kit here that's sort of half unboxed. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just move over a little bit, please. If I just open this up, just to quickly show you what you get in a kit. Oh, am I opening it upside down? I am.
Oh, you see that bit of paper that was just falling out then? That's, sorry, it's inside your box, but there's, you mentioned it earlier as well.
Yes.
Right at the bottom there, there's some pictures of all the different stitches you might need. So some people learn visually by watching somebody. Yeah. Some people learn by reading. And so included in the kits are some, some of the older kits might not have had them in, but we've definitely started to put these in now, to make sure that you can refer to that for how to do some of the stitches.
So it
just reinforces
this is what,
the
like
UK
you were saying,
terminology.
actually, this is UK, this is US.
Yeah.
So if you do happen to pick up a US pattern, these are all UK, made in the UK, designed in the UK.
Yeah.
So
But if you've learned to crochet following YouTube and maybe followed some American instructors, you might be doing it in American terminology. Yeah. So in the kits, then you can see what the difference is between the American terminology and the UK terminology as well.
So you've got your instruction manual, little booklet. And yes, so on the label, on the yarn, you've probably got another pattern on there as well, just an added bonus. So this is the yarn and the crochet hooks and the instructions and the wadding or stuffing that you need. So yes, it's got everything in there. So we've got a few more minutes if there's more demos.
I have one more demo to do, yeah.
Brilliant.
That's okay. So one of the new things from our new ones, we've got Pippopotamus and Koala. If you can take either of them. So on Pippa's face, her nostrils, if you can zoom in on the camera on those, you can see them. And on Kev Koala, his thumbs are made with something called a popcorn stitch. So I'm going to show you a popcorn
Put
stitch.
my finger up his nose.
So let me show you a popcorn stitch. I'm just going to take this stitch marker out here.
What's on Koala that you? On the paws.
His thumbs.
Yes.
He's got thumbs
On the
that
paws,
stick
he's
up.
got a little popcorn. I like that idea.
So I
stitch.
think what's used on those is a 3-stitch popcorn. So popcorns can be with any number of stitches. 3 is quite common, 5 is quite common, and they're in doubles and trebles. So I've got here Kev Koala, his thumbs. Here we go. For the thumb, you can see here it says round 4, a 3 treble pop for the thumb. It's right here. So this is, everything else is double, but this is a treble popcorn stitch. So let me show you a treble and I'll show you the popcorn stitch. So the treble, the yarn goes around the hook first and then it goes through the stitch. And then we pick up the yarn and pull it through. And this is where we have 3. 1, 2, 3 on the hook. That's how I know it's a treble. So we need to get back to 1, yarn around the hook, pull it through. I have 2 on the hook, yarn around the hook, pull it through, and I've now made a treble and it's a longer stitch. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a stitch marker on the top of that one, because what we do to create these popcorn stitches is we do 2 more, it's a treble pop, 2 more of those into the same stitch. So we have 3 of them. So yarn around the hook and through, yarn round through 2 of them, and yarn round through 2 of them. And 1 more in exactly the same hole, the same stitch. There we go. So we've done 3 trebles into the same hole. Now pull a bit through here, take my hook off and put it back through at the beginning on that first stitch. So put it through and pick this loop up again, pull it through the first one and make a little chain, and it just makes a little bulge there and it's a popcorn stitch. And then what you do, you go back to the double crochet, which is a small stitch, just the 2 on it. And what making a treble and making a treble pop does, it just makes it bulge a bit like this, and it's a popcorn stitch. So
I think
that's
really
a treble
lovely.
pop. And like I say, you can look those up. They're in the instructions in that extra sheet of paper that we've talked about. So we've done a treble there and we've done a popcorn stitch. So we've done quite a lot this week.
I think so. And I feel that I actually can go home and do it. So I thank you, honestly, Claire. It's been really, it's educational, but it's so lovely to work with you. It's nice working with experts. And I do feel that I can go home and do this, and I feel I have to now because your son has. So
no pressure, but we want to see the finished product.
But yeah. So let's go a recap of the kits. Now I'm afraid I'm going to have to take away one of these kits that we've got on here because it's sold. So I'm going to start with Flamingo. Oh, it's just about to come back here. So this is Flamingo. So this is our first one here. This is actually, you've stiffened the neck with like the piping cladding, haven't you? But you don't have to. If you want it to be soft for a child, then you don't have to do that. You just put the wadding in that comes in. Everything you need to make Flamingo, what's her name, Flo the Flamingo, including the wadding and the hook, is in the pack. Everything is in there. It's beautiful. Lovely yarn. And of course those additional instructions too. So it's a lovely gift in itself, as well as making it. And of course, as you suggested, and I think it was Kay who said, keep the box, use it to package it, the finished item back in and use it as packaging. Okay, which one shall we go to next? Shall we go to Koala? Look at Koala. This is one of the new ones. I love the way he's got kind of like a little lopsided smile. I think that's so cute. I mean, that's up to you to decide, isn't it, where you put the smile. And they're the ears that you've just been shown how these are created. And the little popcorn thumbs. So there's a couple of techniques going on there as well. So you'll learn, look at his big tummy, look. We've got less than 20 of these left, by the way. brand new today. Isn't it lovely with his, I love his tummy. Yeah, he's got a lockdown tummy. Lovely tummy. So another one of our new ones. This one, the hippo. Let me lift him up a little bit. Hippo, look with his little tail. Now the tail is being crocheted at the same time as the body, so it can't be pulled off. So this is really perfect for a gift for a child.
One of the hardest things I found with that was the eyes, because hippos have really tiny little eyes.
Yes.
And you've done this big chunky animal and then had to put these tiny little eyes on.
But it works. So, and presumably you've got popcorn nostrils, Popcorn nostrils. So again, isn't that cute? And you've just seen the demo with how to get those feet together. So there's less than 15 of these, so these are going really well as well. So this is one of the brand new ones, so he's really lovely. Okay, we must go through the llama. Can't have that all over the face. He's cheeky, isn't he? That's a cheeky one. Is it a he or she? I don't know. But this has got this sort of extra technique because it's got this textured finished.
We didn't get a chance to demo that today, but if people remember the last one we did with Flamingo's wings, we did a chain and then slip stitch attached it and a chain attached it, similar to Flo's wings. So
okay, so if you
fancy
done,
it and you've done Flo and you watched the last one.
If you've seen the demo for Flo, the Flamingo before, it's a very similar technique. But of course it's in the box, and if anybody's crocheted before, I'm sure they have no problem whatsoever. So this is really quite cute, isn't he, with his little leg? He has. Yeah. So he's really cute. And of course I love Monkey. I like Monkey's classic. He's lovely. He says hello. He's definitely one that you can see being carried around, can't you? You know. But again, it's all sort of stitched. So how do you attach the arms on this?
We demoed that last time. So as you're going along, let me quickly show you.
You can watch all the past shows, yes.
But you hold them both together. The camera's just on me now. You hold them together and you do two at the same time. And so if this was the body and this was the arm, you're crocheting both together as you go. But these full instructions are in the kit.
Good.
So again,
so it means they're really well
secured into the body.
Yeah. So that's Monkey. And of course you can watch it on YouTube, and you just put in 1st of January and you'll see that. Teddy, we've got very limited time left, so I've got to go through these quicker. This is Teddy, look at his little paws, look. So he's classic Teddy, but with a difference. Oh, Carol has said, thank you for giving me the confidence. And she's ordered Ted and Giraffe. Fabulous. Don't blame you, Carol. And look at this one. Oh, Ollie Elephant. With his heavy head. I think he's so cute. So you can have him sat up. You can't see him sat up because everything's in the way. So you can have him sat up, or you can have him on his feet. He's cute, isn't he? Really cute. And have we got any others? Oh, I think that's all of them now, because the other 3 have gone, haven't they? So the other 3 have gone. And don't forget, on your the label on the yarn, Carol's found there's an extra project in there. So good, isn't it, to have an extra project? We like that. So thank you ever so much for watching Yarn Lane and for joining us for Knitty Critters. It will be back on Monday. Oh, Yarn Lane will be back on Monday. So tatting for beginners. That's a new skill, new craft. And it was a sellout last time, so that's interesting. So that would be a nice and new. And tomorrow, don't forget, on Sewing Street, it's our mega clearance. So that's a show to watch with John. So you've got all that time to find bolts of fabric, all sorts of stuff. So, we've got management in now sorting. Oh my goodness, that sounds impressive, doesn't it? So we've got lots to offer tomorrow. So don't miss it. Come back and join John as he goes through the clearance deals. Thank you for watching, and I will see you, I think it's on the 11th of February, so I will see you then.